Welcome to another edition of Croplife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of Croplife Magazine, here this week with a special guest, Dan Jacobs from AgriBusiness Global, our sister publication. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
Good. Hey, I know we've been following a lot of the talk going on. We're about a week away now from the Chinese-U.S. tariffs going into place, and I know that I've been hearing a lot of scuttlebutt from soybean growers and trade groups across the country regarding what this is going to mean in a negative way for them. Dan, what are you hearing on the international side on this front?
It's going to have some interesting implications. Right now it seems to be affecting growers most directly, but long term obviously that could have an effect on the suppliers and manufacturers of the crop input products that the growers end up using, and that business could take a hit if things don't change soon.
All right, well, we'll have to see. Again, when we do our retail week in about another week, we'll know whether or not these tariffs actually did come to pass, or if maybe somebody blinked and we didn't get there. But in other news, we got a couple of things to share. I know one of the things we were following all throughout the year last year was Dicamba and issues regarding unwanted spray drift into fields where it shouldn't have been going. Hasn't been much news on that this year, Dan, yet, but we did hear that there are some complaints coming in about 10 states. Looks like in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Illinois, it's the worst at the moment, and about 383,000 acres so far are being affected. Most people are saying that the reason we're not hearing more about complaints is several states have restrictions in place that Dicamba could not be applied after certain dates in April and early June, so that may be cutting down on this. But again, we'll have to be seeing as we go along into the season what ultimately happens with Dicamba and drift in 2018. So what news you've got to share on the international front, since that's your beat?
Okay, a few things. We've heard about that platform is possibly shopping Arystra around. This could be we've seen some mega mergers, but this one is not quite on that scale, but it could be a $4 billion deal. Right now, the Bloomberg is reporting that UPL Limited out of India is a potential buyer, but we'll have to see where that eventually leads.
I know last year when I was at the AgriBusiness Trade Summit, late July, early August, I know there was some speculation that Platform would indeed maybe be one of the companies that be looking to divest some of its assets. So it's interesting that now, almost a year later, it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, this is maybe fallout from some of the mega mergers that we've seen. We're seeing some smaller players get involved, not just in the companies, but also some of the technology. For example, BASF registered a new AI in India and Australia. AMVAC is acquiring Bayer's Bromosil business. So some of these things that are the divestitures that are having to make these deals happen are now, we're seeing some of the results of that.
Yeah, well, again, there's going to be dominoes falling probably over the next year as product lines change hands and assets are divested for more mergers to come down the line, perhaps. So Dan, the last thing I want to talk about with you, of course, is AgriBusiness Global every year has a trade summit. This year is going to be at the end of July in Phoenix, Arizona. Was wondering if you want to share a little bit about what, kind of give us a preview of what we're going to find out there.
Sure. Of course, it's our big event and brings buyers and sellers from around the world together. We're going to have some educational sessions, and this includes a special guest speaker. We'll get to that in just a minute, but we're going to have Bob Faircloth, who will come in and talk about, from Cleffin Group, who will come in and talk about, just give us an overview of the market, the $58 billion crop protection market around the world. We're going to have Jim DeLisi, who presented last year about some of the big mergers and acquisitions. Now that we're post some of the really big stuff, he's going to kind of give us an update on that. And then again, I'll get back to that special speaker. It might be a guy who's sitting next to me here. We'll be talking about the Croplife 100 a little bit.
That's right. If you're an international attendee and you want to know a little bit more about what's going on in the U.S. ag retail marketplace, I will be giving a talk. Did you say 45 minutes I have to talk?
Yeah, but you can have some Q&A.
A lot longer than I'm used to talking in front of you folks, but I'll certainly give it a shot. But I'm sure there'll be maybe some live video of that after the event. That'll be in early August. We'll have that on the AgriBusiness Global website. And for those interested in the Trade Summit, we'll put up a web address here so you can check it out for yourself. I think that covers it. Well, thanks for joining us, Dan. We'd like to have you this week with us, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone next week. Thanks for joining us.